Fair value can tell you guys everything in the market. It can tell you where is the market going to expand. In worst case scenario, you never want a fair value gap that goes against you, and especially during a session, right? Let's get into the chart straight away, right? Look at this. This is an hourly fair value gap to the downside. This to me is a high quality setup to the downside. Hourly bias is bearish. Hourly 4 John liquidity is bearish. 4 bias is bearish. Hourly bias is bearish. Hourly John liquidity is bearish. But the market still went up higher. Market never took out liquidity from its outside. You can see it never took it out. But why did it extend up higher? There was a 15-minute fair value gap. The 15-minute fair value gap was always the case. Push it up higher. Touch this, push up higher. Eventually came back down. Eventually, guess what? Touch it, push up higher, right? Fair value gaps can tell you everything. But how can you use this fair value gap in your advantage, right? Usually what I see every time, even if it's a normal setup, high quality setup, when there's a opposing fair value gap that's during the market session that got created during the session, that fair value gap is always strong. This right here, I took a short right over here. The market literally came down to the fair value gap, took me out. Eventually, even if I would hold a trade, what I've been making even, market still took me out, right? So how and we use as an advantage, right, is when I see from now on, I just flipped my rules, right? Because this is one of my rules where if there is an opposing fair value gap that goes against me that's during the market session that has already been created, I have to either enter before it gets touched, or I have to let it get inversed, or I have to let it get inversed or let it get touched, then look for a 15-minute building block, then, you know what I'm saying, you can go up here. This is mainly for 15-minute time frame. I usually see this happen in 15-minute time frame, right? You can go back in time and see, right over here. One more time. Where was it? Another example, perfect example. What we had a buy over here. Boom, took a buy. Market tested 15 for value that got created during the market session. Boom. Even people, SMC people who like to trial their stop loss with a 5-minute breakup structure, what again stopped out. Right over here, another 15-minute fair value gap. Guess what? Touch a 15 fair value gap. Guess what the market do? Move up higher, right? That is the case. That this right here, my new rule basically tells me that if there's a fair value gap that has already gotten created, let the 15 fair value gap get hit, then proceed to look for 15-minute conflict, then proceed to look into enter trades, because then from there on, the fair value gap has no more power in it, right? Then we could look for that trade that we should have already been in, right? I will give you guys one more example of this real quick. We're gonna go back in time where it was right over here, right? Same thing over here. The 4-hour time frame is what? Bearish. 4 John liquidity is what? Bearish. Hourly time frame is bearish. Hourly John liquidity is bullish, right? But we had a really perfect entry before the 15 fair value gap gets hit. Guess what the market do? Touch the fair value gap. This looks like a perfect way to go back down. What did the market do? Went right back up, right? Touch the fair value gap. What the fair value gap do? Push it right back up. Go against us. If people would have shorted right over here, they would have gotten stopped out. And I took that trade as well. I got stopped out, but I lost less because I followed my rules, right? So fair value gap literally always extends the move. So that's the fair value gap. Guess what market do? Goes up higher. Same thing over here. If you go back all the way where we were, I'm gonna say my English kind of ass right now. That's the fair value gap. One of the market do extend it up here. That's the fair value gap right over here. One of the market do extend up higher, right? So one moment. Alhamdulillah. So fair value gap tells you everything in the market. It just told me that market could expand higher, or the market gave me a 15-minute confluence, right? Give to the back to the downside. Already here you can see there was a 15-minute fair value gap. This fair value gap never given the execution entry. Market just pumped up and went up higher. If there's a 15-minute confluence after the 15 fair value gets touched, my new rule tells me that. So I just remastered my old rule to the new rule. If there's a 15 fair value gap, it's just like this and just like this, and if you go back in time, just like those, right? If there's a 15 fair value gap that has already been created during a market session, I have to let the 15 fair value get touched. And if I have an entry beforehand, before 15 fair value gets touched, I cannot enter that. Let the 15 fair value get touched. Let it do a little pullback, and I would probably make less, but it's more safer for me to take it, right? Because this right here, loss. Right here, if I would have taken a trade, would have lost, but I never had execution entry. Over there, loss, right? Which is not good. We want to play the game. We want to, saying get that analysis down, right? So when fair value gets touched, let it do a pullback. Look for another 15-minute fair value that goes with me, not against me. Because now that if it's with me, that's more bullish, right? That's better. That's better for me, because now I feel like that move, the 15 fair value gap, the opposing 15 fair value gap no longer has power. My 15 fair value gap that goes with my bias has more power than that, right? Now take it out of that, go for long or short depending on my thing, right? My bias. And for the order blocks, the high time for drawn liquidity has to matter. So if I'm using the 15-minute order block, the 30-minute drawn liquidity has to ideally support it, because I've just backed that as well, where if the 30-minute drawn liquidity is against the 15-minute order block, the order will definitely get suspected. So now with this right here literally just helped my rule way better. Now I'm gonna test this out every day for the next couple months, see how it goes. But yeah, literally this is the best way you could use fair value gaps, by either letting it get hit touch first, then look for, if you're bearish and that goes against you, if there's a positive fair value gap that goes against you, you don't enter before it, let it get touched, wait for that in that specific time frame. This implies a 15-minute time frame, not above time frame, not 5 minutes. 5 minutes way too weak, right? 15-minute time frame above, right? If there's a 15-minute fair value gap, let it get touched, let it do a pullback, look for a 15-minute confluence that goes against the opposing fair value gap. Now then look for a 5-minute confluence. That's what I look for. Then I look for it to execution. Prior to that, then I look for a 5-minute. Then I look for a, after it gets that, or the second choice you could do is let it get touched, then see what the market does. Don't let me touch the market. Like, yo, I'm not gonna enter this. Let's see how this goes. And just imagine that you have an entry there. You would probably had an entry there. But just imagine you just see like, okay, I have an execution here, but there's a 0.15 opposing for value that goes against me. Let's see how the market does this, right? And you're just gonna see how the market goes against you, takes you out. Because of the point for value rule, this is the best way you could do it, right? The best way you could use the opposing for value rule, where you could minimize your loss, right? So instead of losing fucking 500 for no reason, just because of this opposing for value rule, right? Just be safe with it. Let it get touched first. Look for a 15-minute confluence. If you don't get a 15-minute confluence, market will usually just attempt to extend up higher. No entry. This past time zone over here. This was 9 o'clock. This right here became wrong liquidity, so we can't even take a trade. Right back over here. If you go back in time, right here, market touched the fair value, went up higher, and same thing to over here. Where was it? Somewhere down here. Right over here. Then never give it the entry. What the market usually do is just extend up higher. Right. It's a very simple. So that is how you could use up on fair value gap rule, which I implemented it. Remessed my other rule with this. Other rule was either enter before it, or let it get inverse, or let it get touched and look for a pullback, then look for a 2-minute confluence, then look for a 5-minute confluence, then look for execution, right? So yeah, I just implemented a better rule, remastered it betterly, flicked it up, and yeah, fair value gap tells you everything in the market. You can literally see fair value gap can extend the move, or if it goes against you, is way more dangerous, because that could literally make you get stopped out and make you have a unnecessary loss. So you want to make your losses minimized, right? You don't want to get too much losses, right? Like me, who been getting cooked recently, but I'm very satisfied with follow the rule. All I gotta do now is follow this new rule, see how it works out. And yeah, thank you for watching. And yeah, make sure you minimize your losses, and fair value gaps tells you everything. Make sure you join my Discord and family. Thank you for watching.